one and all. Honorable Vice-Chancellor, distinguished delegates, faculty, guest faculties, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of the Department of Sociology on its completion of a quarter century celebrating the silver jubilee of its inception. In the span of over 2.5 decades, the department has trained a large number of talented students drawn from different parts of the country. On this very auspicious occasion, the department organizes National Symposium on Contemporary Sociology in India, Emerging Trends and Challenges. The completion of 25 years is indeed a major milestone in the life of a department. The Department of Sociology, since its foundation in 1993, has earned appreciation for imparting the ideals of academic excellence. On the occasion of the Silver Jubilee of the department, I extend my heartiest felicitations to one and all present here. I would like to welcome Professor K. Ghulam Dastagir for the welcome address of today.
Good evening, one and all present here. Respected Honorable Vice-Chancellor Sir, dignitaries on the dais, professors, guest faculty, research scholars, and my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to stand before you to extend a very grand, warm welcome to each one of you present here. At the outset, it is a moment of jubilance as we commence to celebrate the successful completion of 25 years of this Department of Sociology, which was established in January 1993. It has had its fabulous career and it deserves the appreciation to have become one of the nationally known departments of sociology all over India. At the outset, with a great expression of gratitude, with wholehearted thanks, I would like to extend a very, very warm welcome to our most revered Honorable Vice-Chancellor Sir. नई दिल्ली से आए हैं, नई रोशनी लेके आए हैं. नई दिल्ली से आए हैं, पौंडीचेरी विश्वविद्यालय में नई रोशनी लेके आए हैं. बड़ी दूर से आए हैं, प्यार का तोहफा लेके आए हैं. जिसका आने से चेहरे में मुस्कुराहट, जिसके आने से चेहरे खिल जाते हैं, जिसके बातें सुनने में थकान भी मुस्कान में बदल दी है. ऐसे हैं हमारे वाइस चांसलर, द हॉनरेबल वाइस चांसलर सर. द डे ही हैज कम इन टू द यूनिवर्सिटी, वी नो दैट द यूनिवर्सिटी हैड इट्स ग्लूमी कैरियर, द ग्लूमी डेज, द डार्क डेज in which our Vice-Chancellor Sir could step in to take the lead of the university, and the moment he entered in, he turned everything from negative to positive. There was the great U-turn that the university could take after he took over charge as the Vice-Chancellor. And I am happy that our Vice-Chancellor Sir is a visionary. He is a person who has the conviction that a person who cannot see, a person who has not seen the light of the day, a person for whom the world is dark, even that person has a vision. It is who he has created the accessible ambience of the Pondicherry University, and he is the one who has created the barrier-free environment of Pondicherry University. And such a great visionary, a man of action, and a great social service and great social worker, and also a great supporter to the Department of Sociology. I am really pleased. It's a great honor for us that after Sir took charge as Vice Chancellor, this is the first program that we could invite, that Professor Vice Chancellor has agreed to come. Not that he was ready to come anytime to Sociology department because he has a special liking for the department. Always Sociology department is at the core of his heart. But then this is the first program we could organize forever since the time he could come in. And very moment I approached him, Professor Vice Chancellor Sir, this is the program. He had nothing else to say. I am coming. Sir, I am really honored. I am really honored. If this is the kind of support that a department can receive from the head of the institution, I am sure the entire Pondicherry University is really getting to touch greater heights which has never seen before. And this is the great occasion, the Silver Jubilee, in which Sir has come, and this is a great honor on behalf of the Department of Sociology, on the students, research scholars, faculty, and on my personal behalf, I would like to extend a grand warm welcome to our Honorable Vice-Chancellor, sir. It is my pleasure again to have with us the President of Indian Sociological Society. Professor Indira Madam is here. I tell you, my dear students, this is quite significant that Madam has been promoting sociology all over India. And there she is very much well aware of the fact in South India, in comparison with North India, the development of sociology has been relegated. It is trailing. Therefore, she has been paying a special attention from the time she has taken over the presidentship of All India Sociological Society. It has been her special endeavor to see to it that the sociology will have its flourishing career in South India. And that is the way she has been working through, going to all the Department of Sociology to organize programs, and she doesn't mind whatever the program, wherever it is, she is ready to travel, and a person with jubilance. Every moment I have spoken to her, I have heard the kind of enthusiasm, jubilance from her voice that has been a source of guidance to me. She had a fabulous 42 years of career as the sociology professor and head of the Department of Sociology in Mysore, and she served as the director of International Center, and then she served as the director of Women's Studies, and she served as the dean of the Faculty of Arts in Mysore. Apart from that, she has been awarded the fellowship by the United States India Education Foundation 2 times, and she had been visiting various countries and teaching there in United States as well as in several parts of the world. And she has visited the entire world in terms of her presentations as well as in the project work. And this is also another very quite distinctive aspect of Madam's career, is that she has won the affection of her students and colleagues. In honor of that, her colleagues and students have written felicitation volumes in honor of her. It is a great thing that a sociologist can achieve. On behalf of the Department of Sociology, I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to Professor Indira, the President of All India Sociological Society. The Silver Jubilee of 25 years is built with the great services, the noble services and sacrifices of great people. Amongst them, we have amidst us the founder head of the Department of Sociology, Professor Gunasekharan sir is here. We would like to extend a very, very warm welcome to Professor Pondicherry sir, who joined the Department of Sociology in January 1993, and he served for about 12 years as head of the department. Till that time, he served in various capacities like Dean of Social Sciences, Dean of College Development Council, and he is the former Registrar of Pondicherry University. Professor has a fabulous career with his PhD from Hawaii, Sociology, and even his master degree has been from Hawaii. And this is his fabulous career of having guided research projects, having directed research projects, that has brought him to this level, and his distinctive career achievements are testimony to the fact that what a sociologist can achieve as a person as a specialist in sociology, what one can achieve in their career. He is really a role model. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of the Department of Sociology to this Silver Jubilee occasion. In fact, Professor Gunasekharan sir's arrival here also marks the Silver Jubilee, in fact, because the person who served as the first head of the department is here to celebrate the Silver Jubilee. Of course, I would like to extend our warm welcome to our affectionate and respected Dean of School of Social Sciences. Our Dean, Professor Raghutam sir, has been an excellent leader, a very good administrator. Under his stewardship, it is under his stewardship that the School of Social Sciences and International Studies, each and every department is able to see the best of its achievements. And in fact, one of the uniqueness under his guidance is that not only the departments are functioning autonomously and independently, but also there have been collaborative efforts by the departments in which various departments within the school could collaborate with each other in organizing events. That is one of the greatest achievements that Dean sir could achieve. So I would like to express our gratitude for Professor Venkat Raghutam sir for giving the greatest support to the Department of Sociology to develop as well as to support as well as to collaborate with various departments and institutions in conducting various activities. Welcome sir to the Silver Jubilee. It is my pleasure now to introduce the known figure to you, Professor Ramatirtham sir, who served as head of the Department of Sociology as well as the coordinator for, he is a founder coordinator for Social Work Department also, and he had served the university in various capacities, and then he also is one of the recipients of the Best Teacher Award in 2009, and he is amongst us to celebrate the Silver Jubilee. In fact, Professor Ramatirtham joined the Pondicherry University in April 1993, the Silver Jubilee year. For him, this is also the Silver Jubilee. So we would like to congratulate you, sir, for that Silver Jubilee career. It is my again delight to welcome Professor B.B. Mohanty sir, who is a renowned professor in sociology, a great researcher, and a very good human being, very pleasant human being. And in fact, it is also the celebration of Silver Jubilee also coincides with the book he has published with Routledge, which will be released today. When Professor Mohanty was writing his book, I had the opportunity to work with him. In fact, it is my privilege that I am a colleague of an internationally renowned professor. I mean it. I really mean it. This professor, though he is a renowned professor with busy schedule, he sits across overnight. We will find him sitting across in the department beyond 10, 11, even sometimes up to 3 a.m. to complete his writings. It has been a tapas. It has been his meditation. It has been his the penance that he performed to bring out that volume, sir. We are honored by your publication, sir. We would like to congratulate Professor Mohanty on this Silver Jubilee occasion. And we have our the student-friendly best teacher of the department, Professor Aruna, amongst us, who is also the head of the Department of Center for Women Studies. Despite her busy schedule, she finds her time to spend for Department of Sociology, and particularly she is very much involved and committed for the welfare of the students. Every student likes her very much, and that is the speciality of a sociologist. I take this opportunity to welcome the heads of the departments of various departments who are here for this occasion, and the faculty of various departments, faculty of our own Department of Sociology, guest faculty, research scholars, and my dear students. My dear students, in fact, you are very fortunate to be part of the Silver Jubilee. There were batches before you who could complete their degree and they left with their qualifications. But it is this batch of students who could be in the occasion of Silver Jubilee and take part in this event. This is something special in your life. And I would like to wish you all the best for your bright future. And it is the great support of the students that we could organize all this. Probably after this Silver Jubilee, maybe we may have to have Golden Jubilee only after 25 years. By that time, how many of you will come with your grandchildren? I am not sure, but still. But then this is a great occasion to celebrate, and let us all celebrate together the jubilants of Silver Jubilee. Welcome one and all present here. Welcome once again.
Thank you, sir, for your lively words. Honoring the guests has been inherent to the Indian tradition, as we call it Atithi Devo Bhava. In this light, I would like to request our Vice-Chancellor to felicitate our guests for today.
Good evening to all of you. Namaskara. President of this afternoon's program, Professor Gurmut Singh, Vice-Chancellor of Pondicherry University, Professor Gulam Das Sagir, Head Department of Sociology, Professor Venkat Raghutam, Dean School of Social Sciences, my senior colleagues, Professor Gunashekharan and Professor Ram Tirtham, Professor Mohanty, Professor Aruna, my colleagues from different departments in the university, student friends. Well, for me, this university, it's part of my sociological journey for more than one reason. At the outset, I am very, very happy to be part of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Department of Sociology at this university, with which I have had several connections. So I cannot, get away without traveling in the memory lane, going nostalgic. Well, I would like to first let you know that it was Professor Ram Tirtham, who was not then in Pondicherry University, but who used to be at Madura College in Madurai, who gave me the first ever invitation in my life. 35 years ago, I was much younger then, and it mattered a lot to be invited to speak outside one's own small well that, I used to live in Mysore those days. When he was at Madura College, he gave me the first invitation to come and address his students. And I think that is where my sociological journey really began. Thank you, sir. I always remember that with gratitude. Professor Gunashekharan, again, one of the earliest invitations that I received to come to the Department of Sociology at this university was from him when he was chairperson. And I used to travel all the way from Mysore, and it was not convenient the way it is now. One had to come to Chennai, change 2-3 buses, but there was still joy and pleasure. So I like to remember and acknowledge that because, once you reach a certain stage in life, then you get to enjoy certain events, incidents, benefits, but those days do matter a lot for me. And Professor Mohanty, I've known Professor Mohanty for a very long time, has been very active in our Indian Sociological Society. I know him as a scholar, as a writer, and it's always been a pleasure to meet with him, to talk to him. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Ghulam Dastagir, whom I met for the first time, I think, in Bhubaneswar when we had the All India Sociology Congress, during a meeting of the regional associations that are affiliated to Indian Sociological Society. I used to be the secretary of ISS those days. Since then, we have had a very good bonding, and I like his enthusiasm and the concept note, that he sent me for this conference really set me thinking about the very purpose of sociology, which I have been doing for the last couple of years, I must say. And I have known Dr. Aruna also not very early, but then we met quite recently. But then, that bonding which we share, the bond of friendship, affection, I always cherish. So all I like to say is that I'm very happy to be here and bring to the department and my colleagues here the greetings of Indian Sociological Society on the celebrations of the Silver Jubilee of the department. And I also miss dearly Sudha, my dear friend, and who could not be here, all of us know, but I'm happy that she will soon be with us. And Sudha has been a dear friend of mine for more than 20 plus years. I have known her since her college days, and we are also partners in the women's movement, and her writings in Kannada, with which I have been associated also for a long time, have always been part of my life. So everybody here in the department is a friend, is a dear colleague, and as I said, I'm very happy to be here. And then I just would not like to take too much time and would not give a big sociological discourse, but I'll just like to say a few things. One is, I would like to congratulate my colleagues in the department at their effort at bringing everybody together on a common platform here. These days, because I travel quite a lot across the country, and one thing that I often hear and I have myself seen is that today it's become, quite common in many institutions not to think of the seniors who built departments, who created institutions, and who worked under circumstances that are not as favorable as they are today. But in many institutions, there is today a tendency to forget the seniors, to forget the teachers, sideline them and think that their contributions really mean nothing. Now, this institution has proved that it is different, and I must tell you that I'm really touched by this, and you are doing the right thing, and I hope this relationship with all the senior teachers in the department continues even when the new generation here is taking things over. Now, coming to sociology, for the last 15 days, I was at Gorakhpur for a conference, and just 3-4 days back at Kolhapur in Maharashtra. And I have had the media especially, they said, they told my colleagues who had organized the conference, we want to talk to the president. They came and asked me. I said, fine, I'm ready. And I'm happy to tell you that they did ask me sociological questions. And one of the questions, among others, that came up was, what does sociology really mean to this world and to the society? What are sociologists doing? What is expected of them? Please let us know. And this question has been asked not only by others, but I asked this myself several times. And there are 2-3 challenges, that is also the theme of the conference which our department is organizing here, emerging challenges. Now, the one question that has always stood before us, teachers and students of sociology, is that what are we expected to do? Are we simply theorists talking about theory, concept, methodology? And what is our responsibility to society? Is there a dividing line? In the very first sentence in the concept note, there is a reference to this. When it is said, the researcher and the researched. There seems to be a line that divides them. And also, as I understand it, if I can put it very briefly, I am not undermining the role of concept method of theory at all. But even in my recent presidential address at the conference of the Indian Sociological Society, I was trying to make this point that, you see, today there is need to re-examine sociological discourse itself from the perspective of the people who are not just our subjects or objects or whatever you want to call them, but I think today there is need to look at sociology as a discipline which is a combination of academics and activism. I know that there is a lot of misgiving about the word activism in academic circles today. I have myself been part of meetings or discussions when people have said, no, we are scared of activists, keep away, we don't want them. But then I think that people haven't really understood the notion of activism. I have always believed, and I hope that all the departments of sociology start thinking about this, if they have not already done it, that sociology is not just about writing and talking in such a way that they go there and don't come to the grassroots. So the language of sociology, the content of sociology, the target, the goals of sociological discourse, knowledge, all must be revisited. And I think it is time that those of us who have not already started doing it, start engaging with people. And none of us need feel bad about the fact that we don't use a certain type of language, or we don't put our thoughts and writings in a certain theoretical framework, and get carried away by the feeling that, when you speak a language that is not considered, academic or, classic, or as you call them, that you are, down below. I believe that it is very important for us to do sociology and not just write and read and create sociology. See, today the stress should be on doing sociology, not just writing sociology, reading sociology. Unless our writings, our work, our thoughts relate to the people with whom, who are the essence of this discipline with which we have been engaging ourselves, there is no real meaning. I know that this department of Pondicherry is one of the best departments in the country, and I will say it from here. In spite of a short history, they have been doing wonderful work, and I am very proud of that, and look forward to working with the department in future also, because as I said, I have had many occasions to come here. My most recent visit was in 2017 when I came here as a member of the AAA committee that was visiting the university, and so I'm very happy to be here again. And I think true sociology comes when you start feeling that you don't. It's not when you don't get the feeling that you don't belong. Let me be very honest. Everywhere you don't get that feeling, but here I feel that I belong and I'm a part of this. So the Indian Sociological Society looks forward to working with you, and I'm sure that there are many, many occasions for all of us to work together, to be together. And to my young friends there, I just have one thing to say, that you must keep showing I'm so happy to see many of you, because in my own state, I am very sorry to say that in many colleges, sociology is getting a real beating. I'm consciously using this word because people have started asking, what is innovative in your discipline? What are you doing? Tell me how it is useful. How, you can prove. Unfortunately, many of the things that we do, do not immediately create visible impact. So it's up to you, young people, to think of innovative changes and try to see how to make life a better place to live in. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind and encouraging words. Now it is time for an awaited and a proud moment of our department, releasing of the book Agrarian Transformation in Western India, Economic Gains and Social Costs, authored by Professor B.B. Mohanty and published by Routledge.
I'm very happy to be here, delighted to be here on this great day of Silver Jubilee of this department. And I was very pleased to meet Professor Indra, who has been here for this special occasion. Professor Gunashekaran is here, Professor Ram Tirtham is here, Professor Venkat Raghutam, the Dean, he is here. Professor Mohanty, who just released, whose book I have just released, an excellent book apparently when I looked at the first 2 pages. Professor Aruna and Professor Ghulam Dastagir, who is presently heading this department. And only the lucky ones will get such a day, Silver Jubilee. Whenever my friends or anybody known to me invites me for their Silver Jubilee wedding anniversaries or their 25th birthdays or such occasions, I make sure that I make it there. Because people have their own beliefs, their own philosophies, their own ways of looking at it. What I look at it, the more such occasions you attend, more luckier you will become. You become luckier by attending this. So this is another thing which is added on to my attendance, that I'm going to be a part of this 25th day celebration here. It's a great day, and that's the time you really recollect the way the development of the department took place. The way it started from maybe initially 1 or 2 faculty members, and then gradually it has developed into a very strong department, one of the very strong departments, in fact, of a university, where people have been doing wonderful work in terms of authoring good books, in terms of publishing very good papers, and in terms of contributing to the most important aspects of our university life, that is teaching. And whatever little I have heard and whatever I have known so far, that this department has a very strong set of teachers, and they are all doing very well. That is the real strength of the department. And from here onwards, one really takes off in the right direction. I am reminded of my own university where I was there, and when we used to be in MSc, we used to have a professor called Professor Babiska, GV or BG Babiska, and then we had Professor JPS Roy, Professor Andre Bate, whom I invited on many an occasion to various functions. And what are wonderful orators these people were. And of late, Meenakshi Thapan, who is heading the Delhi School of Economics. So very strong set of department we had. And I'm glad that our university department is also on the same line. I have always maintained that if the sociology department does a good work for a university, the university grows. The most important thinking that one can do and one can impart by writing right kind of articles and inculcating right sense of feeling is to have the right kind of sociological orders in and around you. And if that happens, you will never have any conflict. I am reminded of another sociologist right now who writes, vociferous writer, Professor Dipankar Gupta, who used to be with JNU. I don't know how many of you have read. A person with very upright thinking on certain very critical issues where people would shudder to think and present their viewpoint. He openly went and spoke against the establishment. This is what one needs to appreciate. Not only that, after putting his ideas in an absolutely independent manner, he wrote these things in the form of articles in Times of India. And I will not refer to that occasion, probably you would have guessed it. And then next 3 months he was writing very strong articles on that happening. This is what is the strength of a person from academics, particularly from this particular stream. So you need to put yourself in very straight-cut manner on whatever issues our country faces at whatever point of time. Therefore, I compliment my Sociology department that you are lucky enough to see this day of Jubilee celebration. You've already put it on a very right keel, and I'm sure the department will grow in the finest manners, and days will not be far off, only 25 years from now, when you'll find that this will eventually turn out to be one of the finest departments, one of the strongest departments of our country. And I think I will also be, if I'm lucky enough, I'll be a part of the audience to celebrate that. And I don't think nothing will bring you more satisfaction than seeing something which here you predict and you find that turns out to be a factual part. So I'll be very happy. I wish the department all the very best. Whatever best we can do from the university administration, I can assure you that that will always be there for whenever you want, in whatever way. So with these words, I give my compliments to Professor Ghulam Dastagir. I was telling Professor Gautam a little while ago that what one needs to appreciate is that the way Professor Ghulam Dastagir puts his ideas across. He's very frank. He puts it, when you listen to him, you realize what a zeal this person has. That's what we require. And when a sociologist has this sort of a zeal, this sort of enthusiasm, I think the department is in the safest, best hands. So I wish the department all the very best. And I give my compliments to the present head of the department and wish him all the very best for taking the department in the right direction. My compliments to all the senior persons who have come here. They were there in good old days, but let me tell you, nothing can be more blessed occasion other than when you have seniors, very senior people present amongst you. In a family, when you have an elder who crosses 90, we feel very lucky. We said this family is very lucky that there are people with 90 plus age, and anybody who touches 100, we say that this elder in your family is not only to be appreciated, he is a person to be worshipped. And when I say worship, let me tell you, the presence of a person with 100 years of age is a great blessing for the family. It brings in wonderful positivity and blessings for everybody in the family. And I've had such occasions when we had people. I did tell in one of the earlier occasions a case of an example of a person who taught me in my MSc, and he retired in 1981 at the age of 65, and now he's 106 years of age, living a very active life. That is a kind of blessings one looks forward to, which is not very easy, which is not very common, but then such things are there. I'm very happy that three stalwarts have traveled all the way to bless your department. Obviously, your department stands blessed the moment they stepped into our university. I'm thankful to all of them, and I wish them many more years of active, wonderful life which they should cherish, and we should also cherish in the years to come. Thank you very much, and God bless everybody in the department here. Thank you.
Respected Vice-Chancellor of our university and the President of this function, Professor Gurumut Singh, and the President of Indian Sociological Society, Professor Indira, and our esteemed Dean, Professor Venkat Raghutam, and our former head of the department, former registrar of Pondicherry University, and the founder of the department, Professor Gunasekaran, and former head of the department, Professor Ramatirtham, and present head of the department, Professor Ghulam Dastagir, and Dr. Aruna, and senior colleagues from our school who are present here, my colleagues from my department and other departments, the research scholars, students, invitees, and delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I am at the outset, I must congratulate Professor Ghulam Dastagir for conceptualizing this event and developing a very scholarly and very nicely concept note for this national symposium on the occasion of the Silver Jubilee celebration. And I am also thankful to him for making my book release as a part of this Silver Jubilee celebration. And the book is being released by the President of Indian Sociological Society and also the Vice-Chancellor of this university. I feel greatly honored by this gesture. And I have nothing more to say. I just want to tell you that, this work, whatever I have been doing, this is because of the healthy academic ambience which is prevalent in our department. And as a team, all of our colleagues, we promote and value scholarship. And we have a kind of that environment where everybody is working in a very harmonious kind of manner and everybody in a competitive manner in a sense. So not only I am working in Professor Dastagir, Dr. Parida, Dr. Aruna, all the colleagues, they also work very hard and try to produce something in a kind of, we have that kind of ambience and environment, and also we get inspiration. I get inspiration from many of my colleagues from the school, and particularly from the inspiration and motivation I get from our dean, who is a very scholarly person. He always encourages me to write and read more. So actually I am proud of being the part of this department and part of this school and part of this university. And the department is now 25 years old. 25 years, not a very long time, but actually our Vice Chancellor sir was telling, I also agree, it's not a very long time, but within that 25 years of time, we have progressed a lot. And in terms of our research output, academic visibility, number of students, quality of students we have produced, it is no way significant. And all of us as a team, we have been working very hard on the foundation led by Professor Gunasekaran and Professor Ramatirtham, who was also with me. He was my key advisor in the department when I was the head, and I was also with him when he was the head. So all of us, we worked actually very committed manner and very sincerely try to develop the department in whichever way it is possible. And all of them, they have contributed the best of their abilities. And now department in the present stage because of the contribution from each one of them. And another thing, now if you see the department's visibility, it is one of the few topmost departments in the country. Ask any student where do you want to study, definitely he or she will say that Pondicherry is one of their topmost choices. So this is not a kind of a small kind of achievement. And I am sure the way we are working and the kind of the spirit we have, we will march further ahead, and the days are not very far. Our Vice-Chancellor will one day will listen that students, instead of going to Delhi and JNU, they are coming to Pondicherry University. So we are actually, I assure you, and we are working in that spirit, and the day is not very far. And now also the head of the department, Professor Ghulam Dastagir, he is a very committed kind of scholar. He is working very hard, and I am sure under his leadership and under the guidance of our visionary Vice-Chancellor, the department will reach very soon a new height. And Professor Dastagir, though he is visually challenged, he is more capable than many of us. He is actually, I always tell that, wo kisi se kam nahi. He is actually, in fact, ahead of us. He is ahead of us. He is a very good scholar, good efficient administrator, and also very popular teacher. And like anyone, he works very hard. 8 o'clock sharp, 8 o'clock in the morning, he is in the department, and stays up to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening. So he works very hard. He is a kind of committed teacher, a very rare kind of person. And we must appreciate his enthusiasm, his ideas, and his scholarship, not out of sympathy, but because of sheer merit. He deserves it, and I am sure the department is progressing, and he is working very hard to take the department to new height, and we are all with him, and we are all supporting him. I am sure, not only myself, also Professor Gunasekaran, Professor Ramatirtham, all the senior, and Professor Mangyakarchi, all the senior and all the existing faculty, all of us, we are with him in taking the department to a new height. I am sure it will progress further. And this is what I wanted to tell you. I have nothing more to add. And this is a kind of very proud occasion that we have crossed 25 years. So it is a kind of it reminds us many things. It reminds us also about our responsibilities, future commitments, and our sense of responsibility also. So therefore, all of us, we take it very seriously, and we also try to see that how the department progresses further. We will work in that line. So with this, I conclude and wish all the best to Professor Dastagir, and also I am sure these 2 days deliberations will be very fruitful, and I know the concept note, the way he has written, it has opened up many wider issues for a kind of greater discourse and debate. I am sure these 2 days discourse will contribute in significant way for a meaningful understanding of these challenges and trends in sociological research in the current conjuncture. So thank you everybody.
Thank you, Professor Mohanty, for your encouraging words. I would now like to welcome Professor Venkata Raghuttam, Dean, School of Social Sciences and International Studies, for the Silver Jubilee oration.
Respected Vice-Chancellor of our university, the President of Indian Sociological Society, Dr. Professor Indra, the Head of the Department of Sociology, Professor Ghulam Dastagir, my good friend and colleague, with whom I have had a 40-year association, Professor Gunasekaran, my friend and colleague, Professor Ram Tirtham, my colleague, Professor Mohanty, whose book was released just a few minutes back, and of course my other colleague, Professor Aruna. It is indeed a great honor for me to be part of this celebration of the Silver Jubilee of our very respected Department of Sociology. When I suggested to Professor Ghulam Dastagir that the Silver Jubilee is an occasion that you should not let go, I did not expect that within a few weeks he would put together such a wonderful program. On this occasion, let me commend him for this, for putting together this seminar. And thinking of me, I'm just a humble historian, thinking of me to give the Silver Jubilee oration, as he very grandly, very eloquently puts it. I think that is, I put that as a gesture of his goodwill towards me, and I thank you, sir, for that. The topic I have chosen is a topic that Professor Ghulam Dastagir also is close to his heart, the history of water. We take land for granted. In fact, the whole discipline of sociology is built on terra firma, as I call it, land. Who owns the land, who cultivates the land, who gets what share of the land, and so on and so forth. The questions are endless. But very little attention is paid to water. And now I'll give you just an example. We can live for 21 days without food. A human being can live for 21 days without a morsel of food. But he cannot live for more than 72 hours without water. So water is more important than land. And therefore, I'm going to spend the time allotted to me by my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Ghulam Dastagir, on the history of water. How has water touched human civilization and human life? And more particularly, I will concentrate on the issue as far as our own land is concerned, because I think we have a lot of issues relating to water, more issues relating to water than on land. One of the promises that was made, and it keeps repeating ever so often, is that the rivers, all the great rivers of India will be interlinked. I think this is a project that nature has designed for India. Why do I say that nature has designed this project for India? Because India has a natural gradient from north to south, and therefore, since water follows its own level, the very topography and the contours of India is designed by nature. So as I said, the topography of India is such that the natural flow of water would be from the north to the south, and except for the barrier that we call the Deccan Plate or the Vindhyas, which can be breached using modern technology. It is not something that is beyond the realm of technology. This interlinking of rivers will be achieved, I would think, within the course of the next generation. When I was in college, and I beg your indulgence to be a little nostalgic, because all have been a little nostalgic today, so I suppose we can be a little look back on the past. When we were in college 40 years back, we'd never imagined that we would live in an India with so many, which is so rich in development in terms of economy, in terms of living conditions, in terms of infrastructure in our universities, etc. We couldn't imagine, because 40 years back, India was different. And what we see today is something that could not even be in the realm of possibility 40 years back, but it has come to pass. And so what I would say, that in another 25 years, the Ganga will certainly flow into the Kaveri. I don't think there can be any, there cannot be any gainsaying about this fact, that Ganga and the Kaveri, the great dream that has inspired the poets from time immemorial, will come to pass. That is the interlinking of river waters. Now, why river waters are so important? Because except for the Ganges, which forms a delta near Kolkata, and of course the river Kaveri, none of the other rivers, great rivers of India, with the exception of the Mahanadi, form a delta zone. So all of them are indeed rivers that traverse the topography of India, the geography of India, in a lateral manner. And through the course of Indian history, except in southern India, most parts of northern India have relied essentially on groundwater, and occasionally the tapping of water from the rivers. So if you go to Gujarat, Rajasthan, and all the territories that were once governed or ruled in the medieval period by the Solankis, or we call the Chalukyans, you find water for both irrigation as well as for habitational use from the groundwater. That is essentially groundwater resources, which were also the hotspots where water harvesting was taking place. So when you look at the step wells, for instance, they are so designed in order not only to provide a source of water to those who need it, but they are also points where water can be harvested. These were water harvesting facilities in the early medieval period, and they were quite sophisticated. It's not that the places where these step wells were built were chosen in random. Now we know hydrological studies that indeed these step wells were built in areas where the aquifers were particularly accessible. So there was a considerable knowledge of hydrology in early India. Unfortunately, since our orientation towards knowledge is essentially predicated upon Western disciplines, we do not take the study of hydrology that is embodied in a body of text that we call Jala Shastra very seriously. You know, we have a whole range of texts dealing with water, and that is one area that we normally do not touch when we deal with the literature of early India, Jala Shastra. We know other kinds of Shastras, which I will not mention, but certainly not Jala Shastra has an important area where our early knowledge system is embodied. So the step wells are an important source. But apart from that, if you take the northern plains, for instance, you have the two great rivers, Jamuna and the Ganges. It was only in the 19th century where there was a canal system that interlinked these two rivers. It was only after Colvin, who became the lieutenant governor of the northwest frontier, and for some time the governor of the province of Awadh. It was under him that the Great Ganga Canal project that starts 20 kilometers south of Haridwar, because the waters of the headway, the headworks were built just 20 kilometers away from the place where the Ganga hits the plains. And from there, the water is distributed through a variety of canals that were built in the 19th century that doubled the area of acreage in northern India. It doubled. So the first major step towards harnessing and building up the hydrological resources of India so that it leads to an increase in food production took place in the middle of the 19th century. The Ganges Canal was so important that it will not be an overstatement to say that the whole social history of northern India was changed because of the Ganges Canal. The amount of investment, if you calculate it today, the amount of investment in the Ganga Canal Company, it was a private company that was floated to garner the resources for the Ganges Canal, was a pittance, a few lakhs of rupees only. But the amount of wealth that it has generated is immeasurable. Similarly, the success of the Ganga Canal was such that the province of Punjab, which is today regarded as one of the richest agricultural provinces. We all think that Punjab is a product of the Green Revolution. No, the Green Revolution came only in the 1970s. Punjab became an important agricultural territory in the late 19th century because another set of canals that were constructed to harness the water of the Satluj, Chenab and the Indus. This was the Indus Canal project that tripled the area of the land that was cultivated in the provinces of Punjab and what was called the Pespu, that is the royal, the royal princely states of the Punjab region, which all gathered together to fund this particular the Indus Canal project. So the two major canals that were constructed in the 19th century set the pace for economic development in India, at least agricultural, in terms of agricultural productivity. But when all this was taking place, where was southern India? Southern India too was not lagging behind in terms of the construction and exploitation of water. Sir Arthur Cotton was deputed to look for an opportunity to harness the waters of the river Godavari, which was essentially flowing without being utilized into the Bay of Bengal. And it is thanks to Sir Arthur Cotton's barrage near Rajahmundry that the whole of the coastal belt, the coastal region of Andhra Pradesh, and a whole social transformation took place as a consequence of that particular construction. And the success of the Godavari Canal brought in certain ideas. And what was those ideas? The old Madras presidency was a very large presidency, including the province of Travancore, which was under a protectorate of the British government. And the river Periyar, which was the only major river that was flowing into the Arabian Sea, the only major river that was flowing, at least in the southern region, that was flowing into the Bay of Bengal. I'm sorry, the Arabian Sea. That there was a move starting early in the 18th century, and certainly it picked up pace in the 19th century, to see whether that river can be utilized for agricultural purpose. And I would say that the construction of the Mullaperiyar Dam in 1869 was one of the construction started in 1869, and it took a long time, nearly 20 years for the dam to be constructed. And it is the first instance that we have in recorded history of a basin transfer. What is a basin transfer? That is, the entire river basin was lifted and transferred into another, the Vaigai basin. Of course, there are political wars going on, but I'm not interested in those political wars. What I'm interested is to show that India has had a very long history of managing water using technology, using various means of exploiting water, and I have given you 3 or 4 examples to show in the 19th century how successful these interventions were. Now, when we deal with water, it is one thing to talk about the acreage, how much water is used for irrigation, how much water, what is the cess that can be collected for water, has water charges. And you can also have questions about who should control the water. The state should control the water, or whether the water users should control the water. All these are issues which are very live, and these issues have not been settled yet. In fact, none of these issues that I have just outlined have been settled, and I think sociologists would be doing a great favor to the whole study of Indian society if they look at the cost of water, how much, and various charges that can be leveled on the use of water, because when we look at agricultural prices, the water is not priced at all. There is no price on water, and therefore there is a hidden subsidy on agricultural products because water is not charged. Water that is used by farmers, whether they are using it for production of cereals or whether they are using it for commercial purposes, it does not matter. There is no charge on water, and it is for the sociologists to make a case for pricing of water. I think sociologists would be doing a great service instead of studying identity, ideology. I think they would be doing a great service to agriculture if they spend some time looking at water and how much water is to be priced, because the price of water is an essential component in production. And unfortunately, in our free market system that we have, there is an inherent subsidy, inbuilt subsidy on agricultural production, because water is not charged, except maybe by the Water Users Association, which is a very tiny cost. This is an important point. Why? Why? Because water is a mineral like any other. Water is extracted from at least 20, 30, 40, sometimes even 150 feet under the ground. And to make that a private property, as we have done, is, to my mind, opening up a Pandora's box, because water is a social necessity. It is not private property. And unfortunately, the way in which water laws are written and the way the water laws are managed in India, unfortunately, and that is why, as I said, the sociologists have to investigate these aspects as well. For too long, social sciences has been content playing what I call lip service to the real social issues. The real social issues are not based on identity, not based on caste, not based on religion, not based on linguistic groups. The real social issues relate to the use of water, the control of water, the cost of water, the hidden subsidy that is given to water, and who gets the maximum of this hidden subsidy, because it is not equally distributed. The subsidy on water is not equally distributed across the agricultural spectrum. Some farmers get more and some farmers get less. And therefore, social inequality is also reflected in the way in which water is used and managed. So therefore, I think it is high time for sociologists to rest their case as far as identity politics is concerned and take up more important cases, more important issues that our society is facing. And the most important issue is that of water. That is one. I would like to reiterate this point that water is too important to be neglected either by sociologists or by economists. And I'm very happy to say that historians have not neglected this issue at all. Because whatever we know about water and its uses in India is from the researches of our historians. Very little has come from sociologists, and except Professor Ghulam Dastagir's work, where he talks about water use and water users association and the composition of these water users association, I think we have very little work to go on. And I think I would like to flag that issue on the Silver Jubilee occasion of the Department of Sociology.
I respected my old friend, Professor Indra, and Professor Raghutam. We go a long way, nearly 40 years. We have gone through the good times, bad times, worst times, and very good times too. And Professor Mohanty and Professor Ramatirtham and Dr. Aruna, and last but not least, Dr. Ghulam Dastagir. I am very, very happy to be here because this is the first time I'm coming to this department since I retired in December 2005. Okay, so I'm indeed very glad to see you. The department has grown to such an extent from what we started with. I never imagined things will go this way when we were cooped up in a one-room government office with 3 faculty members and 20 students each, and no library, no computers, and absolutely difficult. And all the students who studied with us, they shared this difficulty, and then I think that has helped them a lot. Most of them have done very well later on when they moved from the department. They are doing very well everywhere, all over India. You can see them in Singapore, in USA, Dubai, Delhi, everywhere. Many of them are there doing very well. I'm very proud of that, in spite of the difficulties we had. Now, after this heavy oration from my friend Professor Raghutam, I think you're all in a mood to finish this and go away. I am not going to stretch you longer. I came into this discipline by accident. Okay, I'm a statistician. Always my professor Raghutam used to say, "You are a statistician. You are never a sociologist," and all. Okay, so we had a quarrel all the time. Actually, when I was looking for a doctorate program I got a money for the doctorate program scholarship, but I went to the university. I wanted to do biostatistics PhD, but because that was when my master's degree, so I didn't have a PhD program in the university that gave me the fellowship. So I ended up choosing sociology department. So after having chosen sociology department, one has to go through the rigorous coursework. You see, in the US system you have to go through the courses, required courses, all kind of certain amount of credits you should learn in courses in sociology departments. So it's a very broad-based training. It was very, very useful, and it opened my eyes for a lot of things because I was very narrow focused. Basically, I was talking about population, looking at numbers, and seeing, looking at tables and things like that, regressions and causal analysis and all. So all those numbers don't mean anything if you don't have underlying social processes, if you don't have any information on that. So those numbers without theories is useless. It doesn't say. So anyway, so first course I took was in sociological theories. That particular course was given by one professor, Wolcott. I don't know, many of you know W.I. Thomas, a famous sociologist who talked about the idea of a definition of the situation. So Professor Wolcott was his student. So first assignment he gave was, what is the idea of sociology? Idea of theory in sociology, the idea of theory in sociology. That was the first assignment. So I wrote in that first assignment, theory in the science, any subject can be called a science only to the extent in which mathematics is involved in it. Okay, so he jumped out of the seat and he said, how come, what about botany? What about history? So he really had a quarrel with me. That's how my sociology initiation went. So that anyway, it was a very good department. University of Hawaii Sociology department was very good. And luckily, I went through you have to study sociology, social psychology, macro theory, micro theory, theory construction. I don't know any discipline offers a course on theory construction. We have had a course on theory construction. How do you construct? How do you generate concepts? How do you link concepts to generate a theory? So that kind of things. It was a very interesting course. And then one of the assignments was formalize a particular sociological theory. Okay. I don't know, many of you studied George Hohmann's theory, exchange theory. So that was an assignment I took. I converted the Hohmann's exchange theory into numbers, into A's and B's and differential equations, partial differential equations and all. Okay, that was an assignment. That kind of things we were doing. There's a lot of my orientation in statistics impacted me very much. So I tried to look at quantification. Anything that's not quantifiable is difficult to study. Okay? So the quantification, development of indicators, indexes, and that kind of ideas interested me. So I was more into methodology. Okay, and then even that, when I go look at this recent papers I see in sociology, when I went to one of the seminars, they asked me to be a discussant of a paper. I look at the paper and it was only a table, lot of tables and notes. Okay, so that is not, then they would say, my data support this and all. So it doesn't enlighten you. So I told, I was a discussion, I made a point. It's like a drunk using a lamppost. Drunk uses a lamppost for support, for not for illumination. Okay, he doesn't get any insight into the data if we just say this one data. So that kind of orientation I had, and my work was also basically related to that. Basically, I try to model, I try to develop causal models, cause and effect things, and then quantification, concept generation, and that kind of things. Okay. So when we started the program, so I was teaching mostly methodology courses. My colleague, Dr. Ramadithan, was a very good teacher. Actually, he was teaching in sociology. So many of our students who are now, who studied here, they are very good in theory as well as in methods. And actually, one of my students is an associate professor in Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, one of the top universities, top institutions in India, actually number one ranked institution. He is associate professor in management school. He is our student actually, and he still writes to me saying that because of your courses, he's into mathematics. The second aspect is sociology is stolen. Everybody steals from sociology. Okay, management people steal it. History people steal. And then you go to public administration, they steal. So a lot of for organization, if you go to management school, it's a kind of hybrid discipline. They steal from psychology, quantitative studies, statistics, and then modeling, and then survey methods, survey techniques, and all. So this is everybody is sort of taking part of us and making us less important. Okay, so the management becomes very flowery and then very catchy subject. Everybody wants to go management. Okay, all of you, wouldn't you like to be management school? Tell me, how many of you would have liked to have gone to management school instead of sociology? Tell me. You didn't get a management seat, that's why you come to sociology? No? You wanted to study sociology? All of you. Come on, be truthful, okay? Okay. Because my experience, I think Professor Ramirtha will support me. Most of them go look for all other discipline, don't get admission, then we used to end up in sociology. That's what it was actually, isn't it? Right? Now, is it right? So I think I am very heartening. It's very heartening to see all of you. So many of us. We had only 22 students each year, and then our entrance examination scores predicted very well what they're going to become eventually. We had a system of entrance examination. So we had students from Orissa, from Nagaland, some of you from Nagaland, some of you from Manipur. They are all doing very well. The Orissa students both got 2 PhDs from IIT Kanpur. And one of our students is a management specialist, HR guy in one of the top companies in Bangalore. It's called Blackstone Group, one of the big companies. They're working in information technology enabling services, ITES. So this is all from us only. They are from this department only. So I'm very happy that the department has grown and many of our students are doing very well. Our student Prabhakar was with me for nearly 7 years. We have done the class, first time in Pondicherry state, we did the grading of communities, each community according to level of backwardness. We developed a system of backwardness, a score for backwardness. So based on that, we divided these communities, giving them a score of each community. We had data, no other state has that data. Only Pondicherry has that data for each household at that time. So we graded the school. Prabhakar worked with me on that grading system. Now that whatever we gave as a member of the Backward Classes Commission, we submitted the report and that report has been adopted totally. Absolutely. That is what the Pondicherry state government uses the Backward Classes Commission classification we have given. It's done by our department. So like that we have done so many other works also. So I want sociologists to be, as Professor Indra was saying, we got to be doing something applied. We have to be very useful to society. What we are doing, you must be able to provide solutions, policy solutions for the government, for the industry, for whatever organization you are working on. So that is what the research is all about. Just sitting down. There may be a handful of people who sit down there and sit abstractly, think about the theory, like Karl Parsons write over and over again until the end of time. You see, so you have to do something very useful to society. That we call applied sociology. Okay, the applied sociology to be promoted so that it is always some program impact, urban policy suggestion, evaluation. All these things should be given important to. But many sociology departments do that, evaluation and program planning, all these things. So the NGOs can use it, private organizations, industries can use it. So government departments can use it. So there are so many issues available. Right now I am working with an orphanage. We have 2 orphanages. Social work people are supposed to do that, looking for orphanages. I look at it this way, why children come into orphanage? What are the situations that promote these children to become orphans? So that is the type of we want to do. If you are in health sciences, there are 4 different aspects of health. One is promotional aspect, and another is preventive aspect, another is curative aspect, another is rehabilitation aspects or palliative aspects. So these are the aspects. So sociologists should look at the promotive and preventive aspects of social issues. That is what we want to do. Because if you do curative work, That is the social work department people who do it. They go there and somebody is destitute, you bring them. I am doing is only what the social work department is supposed to do, the social workers are supposed to do. What we should do, sociology students should do, how do we prevent, what kind of research we can do to prevent children becoming orphans? What are the factors that push children to become orphans? So that kind of issue, you can take any issue and you apply this similarly. How can you prevent and promote something? Okay? So with that, now I don't want to take too much time. I'm kind of rambling here and there because I'm old. I'm 75 years old. So I'm not able to concentrate on one particular issue. So bear with me. But I'm very happy that and thankful for Professor Raghutam and Professor Ghulam Dastagir and Professor Mohanty and Aruna, my colleague, and so all of you, I'm for listening to me and then hosting me here and then enabling me to be a part of this 25th year celebration. I'm indeed very, very, very pleased. I remember it rest of my life. Okay. Thank you very much.
Good evening to all. Respected Dean, Professor Venkatraghosman, and our privileged guest, President of Indian Sociological Society, Professor Indira Ramarao, my former head, Professor Gunashekaran, my colleague, Professor B.B. Moganty, present head, Professor Ghulam Dastagir, and my former colleague, Dr. C. Aruna, and faculty members from other departments, research scholars, and my dear students. It gives me a great pleasure to be with the Department of Sociology of Pondicherry University, with my former colleagues and my well-wishers. I think Professor Ghulam Dastagir is a very systematic and hard-working colleague of mine when I was heading the department in this university. I am extremely happy to work with him along with all other team members like Professor Moganty, Dr. Sudhasita Raman, and Dr. Aruna, Dr. Parita, and Dr. Mansi, and Imti Madam also. As an example to assess the efficiency and the systematized way of doing things, Professor Ghulam Dastagir was very much keen in organizing this seminar. The topic for this Silver Jubilee celebration is Contemporary Sociology in India, Emerging Trends and Challenges. I think the students may be knowing when they read the topic, the development of sociology in India. The first Department of Sociology was started in Mumbai. It is in 1914, I think. And next it was started in Kolkata, then it is in Mysore. That is why he selected the speakers from Kolkata and Mysore. Madam Indira Ramarao has come from Mysore. And from Mumbai, he would have selected, probably the persons would not have been available. He has substantiated with the presence of Professor Moganty, who is from Gokul Institute of Pune. And I also did my PhD in Pune University as a teacher fellow. So he has compensated by combining two speakers for one speaker from Mumbai side. And I think that the department, as Professor Gunashekaran has pointed out, started with 3 faculty members. We have shared only one room. One table was there, 3 chairs were there, we were sitting together. With his able administration and dedication and hard work, he could be able to get the things done from the Pondicherry University, and we are slowly has developed. If Professor Guneshwaran would not be the founder, professor and head of the department of Pondicherry University, probably this department would have been closed down after a few years. Anyhow, I thank Professor Guneshwaran for taking up the initiative to take up the department. But the development of the department does not stand only with the faculty members, but it also falls with the students. I have given in my souvenir note also, some of the students earned rich laurels for themselves, thus building a reputation that the department enjoys today of being one of the best institutions in the country. As Professor Guneshwaran has pointed out, our students, old students, are all in many educational institutions all over India, and there are civil service administrators are also, IAS officers are also from our own old students list. So because of that, only the department has got the name, and we are now recognized as the best institution. And moreover, you can see from the achievement of the department, every year a good number of students clear in the national level competitive examinations such as Junior Research Fellow, National Eligibility Test. Last year also, I think there are 6 students has cleared net 8, no? 18 students have cleared. Even the first year students clear net examinations. In 3 years back, I think that is the condition. It is a matter of great pride that the Department of Sociology continues to attract maximum students allotted for us for admission from all over the country. I am extremely happy to place on record my heart congratulations to all the faculty members, administrative staffs, and all the past and present students for this noteworthy achievements and for completing 25-year glorious years. In this contest also, I would like to introduce one more person who is behind the successful present head of the department, Professor Ghulam Dasagir, that is Madam Mrs. Ghulam Dasagir. Because of her support in the family, I think Madam, please get up and then show your face, so that he could be able to spend more time from morning 8 to evening 8 o'clock, you be away from work. It is not possible for me because my wife will start doing all the fun. So that is not possible in that case. Anyhow, I thank Professor Madam Ghulam Dasagir for giving him an atmosphere to spend more time in the department, and as a result of which he could be able to do this plan. The important factor that has contributed to the academic excellence in the personalized attention paid by the teaching staff is regularly coaching the academically weaker section. That is one of the most important concepts that we used to discuss in the faculty meetings also. The faculty members used to bring the notice of the faculty members that some students are very weak. We used to find a solution for that and then adopt some other techniques to get the weaker students to the mark. Remedial master courses we have started, and as a result of that, we have achieved this great honor. So I thank one and all for giving me this opportunity, and I thank all the students for bringing a reputation to the departments. Thank you very much.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and dignitaries of the dais and the valuable student community, both the present as well as our old students who are here. I mean, I wouldn't call them students now, but they're all established adults, and very happy to see all of you. In fact, I think right at the beginning, our head of the department, Dr. Ghulam Dasagir, mentioned about the jubileans. Yes, it is the day of jubileans, and we see a strong set of people who are very well connected with the department are here to celebrate this day and also the years to come. Thank you. Today is a very memorable day for us, especially in the Department of Sociology, as we are together and we do the collective memory together, the 25 years. Well, I have a distinct privilege because for one reason, I'm sandwiched between the senior professors who were the former heads earlier and also the younger generation with the new set of faculty. So I think I have a privilege, and I also become a strong link many times to connect between the two groups. So for me, it's very, very nostalgic and very important for me. All along, I used to tell the connecting link today, there are people here to say the story themselves. So I think this is one of the proud moments for the department. And we also see that we have all the dignitaries here, and their presence here shows us the concern that they have for the department, and they are here. I'm sure we have our blessings, we have their blessings for us, and this, I'm sure, would boost our growth, and also we would grow to greater heights in the coming days. Thank you, sir. Yes, I think before we end, we need to really get to see the old students of our department come here and speak. I think a few of them then come and speak. I think it would be a great celebration. Please. I think Kamakshi can come forward. Please. You know how much we felt happy seeing all of them. I'm sure in years to come we will also have you here. Please, Kamakshi, come here.
Hi friends, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity. I'm really excited to meet you all. I'm Kamakshi from 2002-2004 batch of Sociology department. So as soon as we entered this university, the group of friends first visited the old building where we studied. We took few photographs, we just hugged each other, and then we came to the auditorium, and that's why the delay. I'm sorry for it. And I really enjoyed the whole session. Very important messages of the right to water, and our lecturers and Professor Gunasekaran and Ramatitham sir, I'm so excited to listen to their words. I really felt like a classroom session just passing on to 2002. And right now I'm working in Social Watch, Tamil Nadu. It's a public policy research center. It's based in Chennai. I'm a senior researcher there, and I'm excelling in the concept of gender budgeting, how the government of Tamil Nadu should budget, for the marginalized women in Tamil Nadu. I do handle classes for the bureaucrats at various institutes, and I also make advocacy with the legislators in Tamil Nadu. So it's all taken from the rich knowledge I gained from the professors here, and I'm really excited to be part of this celebration. Thank you so much.